I really like how Seth and Rod, they're having this conversation, and they are making really good practical points, but also they demystify the whole thing, and it's very funny. And so that was my first encounter, and I've shared it with my team over the years. And of course, afterwards, I was able also to see him speak. And what has really struck me with Seth is that he has such a strong belief in doTERRA, in the oils, in the company, in the founders, in the opportunity, and in all of us. And every time I see him talk, how he's connecting with all of us, that always has touched me. And 2 years ago, he gave a speech at the leadership. I was not allowed to enter the US, but I watched it online, and I've screen recorded that, and I've shared it with my team. And every time I share it, I watch it, and I've watched that so many times. And if somebody has any doubts, watch the doTERRA Genesis video, watch the replay of that, and you're again on the right path. Thank you so much, Seth, for all your inspiration over the years.
So I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and Claudia came up to me and would not let me stop talking to her until I committed to come here. She was like, no, you have to come.
Well, but he didn't.
So
he came after.
So this is an awesome experience for me to be here. And I really want to thank Roger Deuce. I remember when I came to Europe to begin building our doTERRA business here. And Roger, were you working for corporate? You were, yeah. yeah. That's what I remembered. I'm pretty sure you were working with corporate. And he was considering coming into the field and becoming a wellness advocate with us. But the thing I remember the most is him fighting so hard for Europe, specifically for this event, to let European leaders have a place to step into the place of leadership. And he was really just basically telling all of us Americans, just shut up and sit down. Let them lead. And so when I've always admired that about Roger and his commitment to all of you. Also, one other thing that this is really, you may not comprehend this because maybe you're too used to it, but you don't understand how special this is, what's happening right here. I've been looking at the people who are here. We have people from Portugal, we have people from Spain, we have people, anyone from France? You're kidding. Those dang French. Oh, there you are. Okay. Germany, Italy, Belgium, Luxembourg? Luxembourg. Okay, sorry, excuse me. We got England, yes. Estonia, Slovakia. Anybody from Czech Republic? Not here? Is it? Okay, yes. Is there anybody else, any other countries I haven't mentioned? Switzerland? The Netherlands? Yes, Netherlands. Why did I miss that? So I've got 11 so far. Poland. It's 12. Romania.
There was a lady from Spain.
And there was someone from Spain. So, and all of you. And where? Canada. And America. Yeah. Woo! What else?
Portugal.
Italy. Yeah, so Italy, Portugal. So I've counted about 15 countries so far. All of you, most of you have a different language than my native language. And all of you have learned English to come here to have a common language. And then you got up on stage and spoke in not your native tongue to a group of people who are listening in not their native ear. Do you see the miracle of this? It is a miracle. And the reason why is because the amount of humility that it takes for everyone to just say, what do we need to do to communicate? Let's all learn a language that is not ours and meet in a country that is not ours to support each other. You may not see it, but Americans look at it and go, wow. We're normally like, hey, speak American, or something like that, right? Anyway. All right, so thank you, yes. Congratulations. Okay, I need to get into this. So I want to share with you a few things. This is something, can we get rid of that? Can that be turned off? Okay. So this is something called the cash flow quadrant. And I want to explain some concepts here for you. So this is a quadrant where you have, in this quadrant, this is called an employee. Down here you have a self-employed person, you have a business owner, and you have an investor. So these are the different phases, the different places where people can fit. Now, if you're an employee, you typically are exchanging your time for money. Let's see, is that the euro symbol? Yeah. Does that work? Okay. Right? And so when you work for someone else, you're exchanging your time, your life, for money. Make sense? People in this quadrant use language that is very common. They'll say stuff like, I want a nice, safe, secure job, right? With benefits, right? Does that language sound familiar? Okay. Then you have a self-employed person. This is when you have a job, and this is when you own a job. Okay? Now, this is typically, what we have here is when you are also exchanging time for money, or a service for money. Typically, it's one of those two things. So when Willem-Paul was a graffiti artist, you got paid per project. And so it was this project that he would complete gave him a certain amount of money, right? And so what they all have in common, though, is that you have to be there. If Willem-Paul did not paint it, he didn't get paid. A massage therapist, they exchange a service for it, or a doctor, or even like a lawyer. At least in the States, they have something called billable hours, where they have a certain amount of money, but it's always per hour. Now, when you live on this side of the quadrant, you view life and money very differently. Like, for example, have any of you went to get something to eat, and as you're looking at the price of the food, you were thinking, how many hours of my life am I exchanging for this food? Or you're about to buy something, and you go, that's a lot of time that I have to invest to get that thing. Do any of you think about that?
Yes.
Yeah. And it kind of, what does that do to you? Like when you're thinking about what you had to, the amount of your life you had to exchange for that thing.
Hurts.
Why does it hurt?
Because I don't have freedom. I'm not able to do what I want. Just what I need.
Okay, good. So it hurts. You don't get to do what you want, just what you need. What else? What other feelings do you have when you have to, when you recognize that you're exchanging your time, your life for things?
Stress.
Sorry?
Stress.
Stress. So you feel stressed by that. Sacrifice, yeah. It's a massive sacrifice. It's your life. You're giving away we only have so much time. And we're giving that time away for money. Then you get over here into the business quadrant, and over here you create systems. And the systems generate money. This is where a doTERRA business fits. You create an asset, and the asset generates income. You could own rental properties if you had real estate. You could own different businesses that generate income. But when I saw the doTERRA opportunity, I saw an opportunity to get into this quadrant here. And when you live here, something magical happens. Because when you create an asset that generates money for you, you view money and life differently. Can you imagine if you, in fact, let me actually take you through an exercise. Imagine if you had a doTERRA business that created for you 5,000 euro every month. No matter what you did that month, you would receive 5,000 euro every month no matter what. If on the 15th of the month, 5,000 euro showed up in your bank account, what would you do? How would that change your life? Okay, so you'd be happy. But what would you do? What would you do with the 5,000 euro? How would your life change right now if that was your reality? You'd think bigger. Sorry? You start investing. Okay. What else would you do?
Fix my house.
You'd fix your house.
Yeah.
Sorry? Travel. Okay. You'd travel. What else would happen?
Pay for kids' education.
You'd pay for education.
Make donations.
Sorry?
Make donations.
Make donations, so you'd be a little bit more generous.
Cover the fixed costs.
You'd fix stuff.
The fixed costs.
Oh, fixed costs. Cover the fixed costs, like all your bills. You would pay your bills. Does anybody think debt? Are you thinking about getting out of debt? Does that come into your mind? No? Okay. So let's say that's 5,000. What if you made 10,000 euro every month? Every month, on the 15th, you had 10,000 euro. Where does your mind go now? You'd feel freedom. Okay. What else? What would you do? You'd help others. Okay. What else?
Creating
What would you create?
events to help people wake up.
Okay. So you create events like this to help people wake up. Good. What else would happen? If you had 10,000 euro every month, what would you do? Sorry? You'd save some money. Okay, good. Okay, say that again.
Fund a school of life for children to teach how to be an entrepreneur and to have other skills.
Beautiful.
So that they don't learn in school.
Okay, good. Great. Is there anything else? So she said, by the way, she said that she would fund a school for children, correct? Yes.
I will invest in diversification, other kind of business, just in case.
Yes, so what you're saying is you would come here into this quadrant where you would invest. So this is for investor. And so you would create other types of income. You'd create new business systems so that you could invest more. This is what typically happens. All right, so you would invest. What else?
Be able to make a difference
You'd be able to make a difference where?
in a lot of places.
Okay.
My community and then spread out.
Yeah. Somebody said something over here?
So your last question?
What would you do if you had 10,000 per month? Yes, go ahead.
I would open a cancer treatment center in Lisbon.
Okay, a cancer treatment center. Yeah. All right. By the way, I have Jose. He is my mic holder, so if you have a comment, then you can just raise your hand. All right, now I want to take you a little bit higher than that. Let's say it was 20,000 euro a month. Now what happens? Where does your mind go? You'd go on a mission, all right? Anybody else?
Build a new temple.
You'd build a new temple. Just so you know, it may take more than 20,000 euro per month.
Each month, you say, each month.
Every month. but you may be able to do it. Okay, keep going. Which is with some good financing.
Supporting all the families and all the relatives in my surroundings.
So you would help your family and your relatives around you. Okay, good.
Help others create their business.
You'd help others create their business. Okay, so you'd spend, if you got here, then you'd be helping these people make the journey as well. Okay? What else?
Better systems for elderly people.
Better systems for elderly people. Okay, great. I've never heard that before. Okay, what else?
I create, I don't know, it's in English, athletic stadium for my club because we work with the kids with problems. Then for that kind of money, I built a stadium for them to create conditions for them to train and to be a good person with education.
Okay, great. Go back, Teresa. Your wife, tu esposa.
I'm not saying what I will do, but I'm listening to all of what you are saying. And you are saying about creation, ideas, something like pumping your head, imagination. It's not like paying the rent, paying for food, paying for everything. That's the everyday life that we are used to. Oh, how can I pay the school for the children? How can I pay this, pay that? You don't have to worry about that. You are just imagination and creating new things and new ideas and investing in something
Yes.
that it's important for you.
Thank you for pointing that out. All right, that was 20. What if it was 50,000 euro per month? Okay, 50,000. What would you do? Right here.
By the music auditorium that I've been dreaming about.
Okay, can you go ahead and share that again?
I'd buy the music auditorium that I've been dreaming about buying.
Why?
To create the festivals, the events, the music that I'm dreaming of.
And that means something to you?
help people wake up. That means a lot. I'm a professional musician. Yeah. And to heal music, to heal people through music and oils and all sorts of things.
Good.
Yeah. To be able to have that freedom to create our own festival.
50,000 euro, what would you do? Right here.
Sold for 50,000, right?
Create my dream, Villa Nefesh. It's a mansion. It's called Nefesh. Nefesh is Hebrew and means 100% spirit, 100% body, but 100% soul, 100% restored and healed. And so in every room there's a different kind of healing. For example, the aroma touch and then the coaching.
So you would create a mansion that would be used to heal others. Okay, great. Thank you. Anyone else?
Ajudava a criar centro para apoiar as mulheres que sofrem violência doméstica e ensiná-las como é que elas podem ser independentes, criando o seu próprio negócio.
Seth, so I would create a center to help women that are abused somehow by the husband or partner. E a segunda parte diz que é para ajudar.
Ensinava-as a criar o seu próprio
I
negócio.
would help them to create a new business.
Yes, okay, very beautiful. Go ahead.
Help clean India.
Oh, yes.
Good.
I would create like schools or centers for young women that are just young girls growing into women to support them to connect with womb wisdom, to have all this healing, masculine, feminine thing around to help them grow in a healthy way.
Yes.
You will.
Okay, good. So Frank, you're hearing how that your missions are aligned there. Go ahead.
I will create a beautiful mansion in the mountains, in the nature, like a healing center for people to maximize their health and to help them to get cured of incurable
Awesome. All right. What if it was €100,000 a month? Sorry, did you say you'd pay for your car? Every month, a new one?
Our car is more than that, and we are paying every month.
Oh.
Our business car.
Oh, okay, yes, I see.
We have a business car, and it's more than that.
Yes.
And I pay it and be free.
First month, then we'll do the rest of it.
Yes,
The rest
yes. Okay, so do any of you, when I say 100,000 per month, do your brains turn off? Yes. You go, right? Yeah. If you never take time to consider what you would do with that kind of wealth probably won't find you. So take time to consider it. Do any of you think no one deserves 100,000 per month? No one should earn that. Wow. I gave this presentation in Ireland, and when I said 100,000 per month, somebody said, oh. I'm like, what's the matter? They're like, no one needs that kind of money. And then I said, I don't know. What if your divine mission and purpose was to cure cancer? Is that enough? No. You'll notice, Teresa brought this up as well, but you'll notice that when we said the smaller numbers of €5,000, that most of the answers in this room were about paying your bills, taking care of your life, and your concerns. What happened as the numbers went larger? What happened to this room?
Helping others.
Right. You started thinking outside of yourself. The principle is this: thinking small is selfish. Thinking big is selfless.
Wow.
So I want to give all of you permission to dream about the difference that you could make in this world, and to give yourself permission to receive that kind of wealth. Last night when we were up here, the speakers were here. Some of the questions that came from the group was, there was a lot of actually fear around becoming wealthy because it would maybe change you. But I can say that I hope all of you achieve the wealth that we've described today, because from the answers you are giving, you would change the world. You would help this world become a better place in which to live. Life, when you move into this quadrant where you're making a certain amount of money per month, and you do not have to exchange your life for that money, life has a very beautiful meaning. It's a wonderful experience. Have any of you, there's been a lot of talking today and yesterday. Are any of you concerned about running out of oxygen? No. Have any of you thought about oxygen since we've been having this event? Nope. If I asked all of you to hold your breath, within about 30 seconds, the only thing on all of your minds would be oxygen. It is not that money is important. It's just that it's like oxygen. If you don't have enough, you think about it all the time. If you have a lot, you don't think about it. You know, the most beautiful thing about being here is you just don't think about money. You think about the difference that you can make in the world. Imagine waking up every morning and thinking about how you can make the world a better place today. And that's what dominates your thoughts. That's what dominates your mind, because the bills are paid, the food is in the belly, your children are taken care of. So now, what can you get busy doing to make the world a better place? Does that sound like something you'd like to do? I want you to know it's worth it. So, who here has considered, over the last couple of days, you've thought, I want to take my doTERRA business to the next level? Has anyone thought of that? Okay. All right. So, over here are concerns. The concerns of taking your business to the next level. What is going to keep you from doing that? What's going to stop you from doing it? Over here, I'm going to write the benefits. These are the things that cause you to do it. So can I ask of the group, why would you do it? You know what it takes to build a doTERRA business. You have to talk to people. Ugh. You have to invite people. What if they say no? You have to teach people about oils. What if they think you're weird? You have to be on an airplane and take people's shoes off and hold your hands over their face and have them say, what the hell is going on here? You have to drive potentially for hours to get to a home and have no one show up. Have any of you done that before? Do you know that Rod Richardson, my enroller, Rod flew to Ireland for a no-show?
Oh boy.
He flew all the way to Ireland to have no one show up. Yeah. I think he holds the record for the longest trip for a no-show. So we know what it takes, but why would you do it? Why would you take your doTERRA business to the next level? Go ahead.
Because in the last 5 years, I'm still the same person.
Yes, so you want something more. You want to change your situation, all right? So for change, what else? Why would you do this?
To help the leaders to get.
Go ahead.
Because I committed to the people giving some kind of, not really promise, but some kind of like a possibility, so I want to stick to my word.
Okay, so you want to keep your word. What else?
Bigger impact.
Sorry?
Bigger impact.
Bigger impact? Okay.
Freedom.
Freedom. Somebody said something. Go ahead.
Is to support the health issues in my family.
Okay. Can I say to help heal? Heal? Yeah. All right. Okay.
Help my leaders to have a personal development.
Okay, so develop leaders. Why else would you do this?
To prove myself that I'm able to do it.
Yes. Yes, that's a good thing. To prove. Okay, what else? Yes.
Be able to share the gifts that I've gotten with as many people as possible. You know, the knowledge, the inspiration, the awareness, the insights, whatever there is that was given, and share it as much as possible.
Yes. Okay, I'm just going to put share right here. All right. Is there any other reason that you feel needs to be on this board? Why would you do this? Go ahead. Okay. Now, why not? What is stopping you? Why? These are all awesome reasons here.
Lack of faith in ourselves sometimes.
Okay. So lack of faith. Okay, what else? Why not do this?
As a full-time mom, it's hard for me leaving the house.
Yes, so
As a full-time mom, it's hard for me to leave the house to talk with somebody.
okay, how do we define that? Like
Less time for family. Family obligations.
no time. Okay? Yes.
Fear of burnout.
Fear of just burned out. Uh-huh.
Ridicule. Ridicule.
Okay, so this is similar to this, but it's okay, what else? What's stopping you?
No public. No public. No people.
No people? You don't know anyone? Who are you going to talk to?
People not impressed by product.
Afraid to be rejected.
Rejection? Okay, well, who said that? Responsibility. What do you mean by that?
It goes in the direction of burnout, and I had so many things like this weekend, so I'm not afraid of it anymore so much, but like too much responsibility. If I have a huge team, etc., I have to.
Responsibility over others.
Huh?
Responsibility over others. Sometimes scary.
Okay.
The increase of price of the products.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I just wrote it. Oh, well, all right. Products. Yeah, one more.
I don't know if this is the word for it, but like putting a lot of energy again, and not seeing immediate reward or immediate results from that.
Good one.
It's kind of like to do with faith in the long term.
Yeah, so is it, what if it doesn't work? Is that what it is?
That's more linked to the instant reward.
Okay.
It's time related.
Right. Okay. One more.
Don't have family support.
Okay, so you need family support. Okay.
A tricky self-image.
Self-image?
Tricky, like.
How are people going to...
No, picture of yourself.
Keep going. I want to understand.
Okay. The picture of yourself. Like how to accomplish or not is about your personality, so it can hinder you or support you.
Now,
Like motivation or inward.
lack of motivation?
Maybe could be a point. It's one of point of it.
Okay. Yes.
Tired of dragging others.
Okay. Tired of dragging others. Do you want to know the best part about building doTERRA? The people. Do you want to know the worst part about building doTERRA? The people. It's the worst. Okay. This is plenty. We've got a lot on here. So I want to just take a moment and address both of these, both the benefits and the concerns. Will you have to change? Yes. And that is the best news possible. I have someone on my team who, when I asked her if she wanted to build a business, she said, "Will you always be here to teach the classes?" I said to her, "I will be here as long as you need me to be here." And so I taught every class. She lived 4 hours away by car. And so every time she had a class, she'd call me and say, "Can you come teach the class?" I said, "Yes." I did this over and over and over again. One time she called me, she goes, "Okay, I have a class this Friday. Can you come?" And I said, "I have a wedding on that day that I would like to attend. But if you need me, I'll be there." And she said, "It's okay. I'll teach it." The day of the class, she was so scared that she had diarrhea and she was vomiting all day. She said that she read the script for the class 50 times. When the class came, she didn't have the courage to teach the class, so she just read it again. But after the class, someone enrolled. And she called me and she goes, "Seth, they enrolled." And I'm like, "Good job." And from that point on, she never asked me to teach another class. Later I said, "Hey, will you help lead our team call today?" And she goes, "If you feel like it's right, I'll do it." Like, okay. She hung up the phone. And she led the team call. Then we had an event like this, and I said to her, "Courtney, can you present at the event?" "Yeah, I'll do it." Every time I invited her to do something more, she would vomit and have diarrhea. Now she's a diamond. She's been a diamond for years. She's been financially free for years. And she can get up and speak to thousands without vomiting. Just the diarrhea. Right. But we have digestion, so it's all okay. Or Zengest, I guess. You got to keep your word. Do you want to know how to avoid ridicule, to avoid other people's opinions being negative? You keep your word. When you decide to do this, decide. Not once a day, like every day, am I going to do this? No. Not once a week, am I going to do it this week? No. Not once a month, but once and for all. Just decide one time. Keep your word, and other people's opinions of you will actually improve. Bigger impact. I'm going to do these two together with healing and bigger impact. One time, this is Easter weekend. I personally am a disciple of Jesus Christ, and I love him with all of my soul. And when I read the New Testament, it describes him healing others. And I try to model my life after him. But I could never do what he did when it came to healing others. But in my time in doTERRA, I have seen people who could not walk that walk now. I have seen people who should be dead that are still alive. I know someone who lost their sight that had it return. I have seen the miracles that I read about in the New Testament. I've seen all of that in my time in doTERRA. This opportunity allows you to have your own personal ministry of healing. You get to do that. You cannot go diamond without seeing miracles in this. I have people that'll come to me and they'll say, do the oils really work? And I'm like, if you saw what I saw, you would not be asking, do they work? You'd be asking, what else can they do? In fact, can I just have anyone in this room, what is the most miraculous thing you have ever seen the oils do? The most miraculous. Go ahead. Sorry?
Crohn's disease.
Crohn's?
Crohn's
disease.
as well.
And cancer as well. Okay, good.
I had a blood condition. I had anemia for years. And 2 years ago, it went from 7.50 to, in less than 1 year, to 13.5. And I was always taking blood transfusions and iron transfusions too. And I never felt the way I feel now because of LLV and all the LLV. And now I'm free of that condition.
Thank you.
Uma experiência que mais me marcou foi com 3 meses na doTERRA e uma gota de frankincenso na cabeça de uma jovem. Ela tinha enxaquecas há 7 anos, sem descobrir de onde é que vinham, com testes à medula, taques, ressonâncias, e apenas uma gota de frankincenso deixava de cair. Foi o que eu senti no momento, pegar no frankincenso e colocar-me. Nunca mais ela teve aquelas dores.
Okay.
E ela começou a partilhar e a escrever.
I want to know what she did with 1 drop of frankincense. What happened?
Frankie's there. So she had severe migraines. Only 1 drop in the top of her head really helped her. She believed so much, she started rolling. They could find out before with X-rays and other kinds of tests what happened, but frankincense with 1 drop solved it all.
Yes. Do you remember when we did not know what to do for allergies?
Yeah.
You'd just be like, oh, and you'd be taking medications and things like this. And now it's like, yes, you just lavender, lemon, and peppermint. This is easy. This is what you do, right? Sometimes we forget how miraculous what we have is.
Yeah.
And so don't let the miraculous become mundane. Okay? Freedom, yes. This is real. This is real. Everything we described earlier when we were doing that exercise, that is real. You get to develop leaders. The world needs more leaders. You get to prove to yourself that you can do this. Nothing's better than setting goals and achieving them. Going through all of the growth that's going to happen to get there. And you get to live your life's mission. You get to discover why you're here on earth. I don't think all of us are here just to work for money until we die. I don't think that's why we're here. That's not why I'm here. I don't think that's why you're here either. So, this lack of faith in yourself, I'm glad you brought that up, because our job is to believe in people, to believe that others can do it. Sometimes I've talked to people who on my team have become diamond, and then they'll come to me and they said, I didn't believe I could do it, but you believed in me, and so then I believed I could do it. Willem-Paul yesterday said that when he got started, that he did not think he could do it, but that David Sterling told him that he believed that he could do it, and that the belief of David Sterling that was breathed into Willem-Paul is now making him stand on stage and describe how to overcome trauma so that you can achieve your goals. Imagine that. Is it that simple? That all we have to do is believe in another person more than they can believe in themselves? That's the work? That's the price? I know you can do this. I know you will. And in the process of time of you becoming this, you'll believe in yourself, and the best part about it is that you'll believe in others too. No time. Here's the thing. We all have 24 hours in the day. All of us. We have the same amount of time. If you don't, I want you to look ahead in your life, 5 years. If you keep doing what you're currently doing, do you see anything changing? Then you have to make time. This is a priority thing. Most of the times we give priority to our jobs. On the left side of the quadrant, in the employee and the self-employed quadrant, if our job tells us to do something, we will do it. If it means we have to miss a family assignment or a family opportunity, we miss it. If the job tells us to do anything, yes, sir. But for your financial freedom, let's move that down the priority list. You have to move it up and make your financial freedom a priority in your life. No one else will do it for you. Are you tired of dragging others? Then don't. Sometimes there's a way to build your business where you're not dragging others. And so I've explained this a million times, and I'm going to explain it a million times more. But here's me. When I first got started in doTERRA, I had someone explain to me, I said, how did you become successful in network marketing? They said, Seth, 4 teams wide, 7 deep. 4 teams, 7 deep. So I went like this. Do you mean like this? Like that? And he goes, yeah, like that. I'll do it. That's all I have to do? Yeah. Now, first person I talked to was my sister Heidi. I'm the 8th of 10 children. This is a massive advantage in network marketing. Okay? I talked to Heidi. We enroll my sister Jody. We enroll my sister Natalie. We enroll my sister Jacqueline. I'm working with Jacqueline, and while I spent months with Heidi, and we enrolled lots of people. But when I saw this sister right here do it, I wanted to work with her because she's my sister and I love her. So I started working with Jody. We enrolled lots of people. But when we enrolled Natalie, I wanted to work with her. And I did the same thing with Jacqueline. And I spent lots of time working with Jacqueline. Now, while I'm working with Jacqueline, I'm teaching her how to invite. I'm teaching her how to teach classes. I'm teaching her how to enroll. She knows how to teach like me, invite like me, enroll like me, build like me. I've duplicated myself in this leader. And then she introduces me to her sister-in-law, Sarah, and her husband, Travis. Sarah and Travis. So I'm working with Sarah and Travis, And they introduced me to a lot of people, and we enroll a whole bunch of people, but they introduced me to her aunt, okay? And I can't remember her name. And she was kind of a weird lady, but she was interested in building. And she introduces me to a number of people, but Leanne is a person who I saw, okay, Leanne, she's really good. So I start working with Leanne. Leanne introduces me to a friend of hers. Okay, so Leanne lives in Canada. Leanne introduces me to a friend of hers named Olga. Olga lives in Canada, but she's originally from Germany, and she's also Russian. She's like this. Okay, so then Olga introduces me to her sister Jenny. Now, Jenny is a presidential diamond. Olga is a blue diamond. Leanne is a platinum. She's just an elite. They're diamonds. She's diamond. She's elite. She's elite. She's diamond. Now, the problem that I see people make, the mistake that people make all the time in doTERRA is that they say, okay, I have my leader right here, and they just keep working with this person. They just, like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Drag, 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 come on, let's go. And it burns you out, and it burns them out. But if you spend time with them to find the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and the next person, everyone asks me this, do you have enrollment of these people? No. Does it matter? No. I mean, it does for my rank, but like if this person isn't like Frank was talking about. But the thing is that you want to build a huge team, a big organization that is so stable that you don't have to worry about it. But if you spend all of your time focused on just the people you enroll, then you're going to be dragging people. Does that make sense? And I did this over and over again. I just kept doing this. And I would spend time, and I'd spend time, I'd spend time. And here's the best part, is because that's how I built, right here, where's the concern? Right? Well, it's too much responsibility, dragging others, and burnout. I've been speaking all day. You feel like it anyway. No, but all day as I've been here, I have not received a single phone call from anyone on my team asking for anything. I have about 200,000 people on my team. Why is my phone not blowing up? Why not? Because they're independent. Because I have layers and layers and layers of leaders. Does that make sense? So you develop more and more leaders of people. All those leaders help carry the load. Right? I'm so thankful to say this, but I have never been burned out of doTERRA. How can you burn out on awesome? Right? Let's talk about these two. Ridicule and the other people's opinions. Here's the thing. Those other people, they're actually not thinking about you at all. That's the good news. Do you know who they're thinking about? Themselves. And they're wondering what you think of them. But in reality, all of us are just thinking about ourselves and trying to take care of ourselves. Now, if anybody does take the time to think about you and to think negatively of you, is this a reflection on you or them? This is them. They also aren't paying your bills. They also are not going to make your dreams come true. Please don't allow the opinions of others to stop you from pursuing what you know you should do. Because if you keep your word and you accomplish what you set out to do, all of those negative opinions, if they exist, they will become admiration or jealousy. But still, this is not your problem. Rejection, yes, you'll be rejected. Can somebody ask me a question? Say, ask me to do something. Anybody have something for me to do?
Jump.
Jump? No! Anybody else?
Make a handstand.
No!
Why not?
Because I don't wanna. See, it's not that bad. People will reject you. It's all right. The money for the products, Kate, I have built all over the world. I went down to Brazil and I wanted to start a team there. I wondered how that would go, considering that the minimum wage of doTERRA, or of Brazil, is about $300 a month, which is not much compared to a 100 PV order, right? Here's the thing. When I went down there and I taught classes, I had people lining up, coming to me saying, my dad has diabetes, what do I do? My daughter has this. My son has this. Health, people, no matter how much they make, will invest in their health, no matter where they are. A healthy person has 1,000 dreams. An unhealthy person has one dream. That is to be healthy. The other thing is that the money, actually, our products are not expensive. Being sick is expensive, but being healthy is actually the best investment any of us can make. Let me talk about this instant reward thing. That is the problem. Why don't people succeed in doTERRA? Because we're used to exchanging time for money. We're in the E quadrant. We say, I want to give you this amount of my life. I want this amount of money. And then we come along and we say, no, this isn't about the time that you give. It's about the value you create. Can you create value? This may be some of the hardest truth you have to face. Can you create value? Because however much value you create, you'll get paid more and more and more. And it's difficult when we're used to exchanging time. I want to exchange my time and I want this amount of money. And we're going, no, you could spend a lot of time and create very little value and get paid very little. But I want to encourage you to come and become a valuable person and create value. Let me do this. Family support. So, I'm a father of 4. My son, when he was in his early 20s, and he was 21, he came to me and he said, Dad, what should I do for a living? I've been waiting for that question. And I gave him a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant. It has the quadrant I drew up there, and I said, read this. So he read it. And he came back to me and said, okay, so what should I do? We talked about his life, what different possibilities. And then he said to me, yeah, but what would you do if you were me? And the best advice I could give him as a father was, I would do doTERRA with me. And so I had the opportunity to watch and to work with him and to watch him grow. As he was building his business, he had to learn the lessons that the business teaches. All of us have to learn it. You can't escape them because they're things you have to overcome. And so as I've watched him have to overcome these things, It has been so painful for me. But one day, he was trying to become a founder 2.0 of the United States, and he's a platinum in doTERRA. But he was running for founders. He had a girl that he was dating that was his love. He had a ring for her. They were planning on getting married. And he also was working with his best friend who was building a team, and he and him, we were like, we're going to be like Seth and Rod. It's going to be Christian and Max. And we're all excited. Then his girlfriend left him for Max. And at that same time, after 25 years, my wife asked for a divorce. Christian was devastated. His team with Max is his biggest team. Of course, it fell apart. And he was brokenhearted. He wanted to quit. It took everything, and as a father, I was just like, I don't know what to do. It was so hard on him emotionally that he started to get something in his ankle where he couldn't walk. He was on crutches, eventually a wheelchair. He lost 25 pounds. He was sweating profusely every night. He had fevers of 104. We were going to all these different doctors trying to find answers. There were no answers anywhere. And of course, he comes to a doTERRA event, and then you happened, you're all there, right? And they're saying, have you tried this? Have you tried this? And he's like, yes, I've tried this. I've tried everything. And then somebody said, have you looked into the emotions? Maybe this is emotional. So he went to the book, looked up his left ankle, and it said, bitterness towards your mother.
Again, please.
Bitterness towards your mother. And what it asked him to do was to take wintergreen oil and not rub it on his ankle, but to rub it on his heart and to breathe it in. And in 2 weeks, he was out of a wheelchair walking again. Isn't that amazing? We don't even understand how the human body works. It's amazing. But he's still trying to pursue Founders 2.0. He's still trying to pursue his goals. And I'm going, oh man. And I was praying for him. I was begging God. I was like, please, please, why not? He's worked so hard. He's given it all. Why not? Just let be a founder, for Pete's sake. Why can't? And then he's dragging these leaders and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what? Why not? Please, God. He deserves it. He's worked so hard. He's had his girlfriend leave him. His best friend betrayed him. All these things, please. Why not? And God said, do you really want him to have this kind of wealth without first passing through the fire tribulation? And I said, no. You know better than me. And through a miracle, he became a founder of the United States. Yeah. I guess I want to invite you to pay the price, to overcome all of this so that you can have all of this. And now I get to work with my son the rest of my life. We get to travel the world together. And my other son, he's 19. He lives here in Portugal. He's a missionary here. He'll be here for 2 years, learning your language. But when he says, Dad, when I get back, I want to work with you and Christian. You go show your family that you keep your word, that you achieve your goals. And you show them the life and the wealth and the abundance that you can create, and they will want to follow you. And I want to invite you, will you be a diamond?
Yes. Yes.
For my family, yes.
Do you feel it when I ask you that? Will you be a diamond? Yeah. I know you can. I hope and pray that you choose to be. Thank you.